Some people tend to overreact when they are irritated, and they sometimes carry out their anger on others. That's exactly the case in this clip. Apparently, the man pushed a cart behind the lady's car, blocking her way out, and the lady got pissed, throwing an object at the man. The man exploded in anger, telling her that the cart was hers to begin with, but the lady wouldn't listen. The man ended up retaliating by throwing the object back at the woman, causing her to threaten to call the cops. When people act without thinking, the consequences are dire. The man in this next clip will never go near a parked car again if he survives this assault. In the video, we see how he walked up to the white sedan and made a threatening gesture before hitting the side mirror, clearly daring the driver. However, the driver's response was unexpected. What greeted him was a bullet fired directly at him. In this video from West San Antonio, we see a blue Lexus drive into the parking lot. A woman gets out of it and walks away. However, there is a man lurking suspiciously beside the car.
They didn't know that they were just getting out.
As the woman leaves, another lady exits the car and prepares to follow her. But just then, the man does something unexpected. He kicks the car, probably even denting it. The lady immediately lunges at him, but she's no match. When the older lady comes back to help, the man simply shoves her away like she weighs nothing. The lady in yellow decides to have another go at it, but the man flings her away, gets in his car, and drives off as nothing happened. These two drivers clashed in a parking lot in the northwestern suburb of the Gap of Brisbane. One of the men was in his Nissan Pathfinder and was attempting to pull out when he was blocked by the driver in the BMW. The Nissan driver got out, approached the BMW, and a heated argument ensued. The argument developed into a physical altercation, where they exchanged blows like it was a wrestling match. After a prolonged fight, both men returned to their cars after they appeared to have resolved the dispute. Nobody parks a car and expects it to be hit by another, but that's what happened here. The white car over there had just parked in the parking lot, and the driver was preparing to step out of it, but little did he know what awaited him. As he opened the car door and stepped on solid ground, a red sedan came into view, moving at a high speed. The sedan rammed into both the man and his car, causing him severe injuries. The date was May 9th, 2022, when this woman decided to visit a supermarket, which turned into a nightmare for her. She drove her white car into the parking lot, parked it accordingly, and made to get out when another car drove up behind her. Without warning, a group of men stormed out of the other car and surrounded the lady, who immediately went into panic mode. They snatched her belongings, including her car keys. The helpless woman could only squat in a corner as the hoodlums got into her car and drove it off like they owned it. After drinking to their satisfaction, these two men lost control of themselves, and the parking lot became their wrestling ground.
No, don't do it here! Don't do it here! I said don't do it here! Oh my God.
It was a tussle between both guys, but eventually, the guy in shorts put his opponent to sleep with a KO. The other people at the scene had to check on him to make sure he was still breathing.
Knock that nigga out. Go, leave now. Hey, yeah, is that her? Walk up to me, arm?
The group of friends were about to head home at the end of the day when a fight suddenly broke out between them near the car.
Oh, he don't want to do you! He don't want to do you!
Hell yo! Yeah!
The whole incident was captured on video. Whatever caused the fight must have been extremely serious, as both guys gave their all to the brawl. The other guys watched and cheered for a while before stepping in to end the fight.
Get up, little nigga, get up! You get your ass smashed, get up!
Damn, son, get up, get up!
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up!
This next video is as disturbing as can be. In a Walmart parking lot, a police officer got physically involved with another man.
I'm recording it.
The video, which was captured by two women, shows the cop pinning the guy to a white car. The guy wasn't having any of it and fought back aggressively.
What do you gotta work for? I'm his mother. What do we gotta work for? Get out of my face. Now you pushing the mama.
At some point he ran, but the cop was right behind him, pinning him again to another car and attempting to handcuff him. The two women kept telling the officer that he was in the wrong, but he couldn't care less.
No, he got what he gotta work for? I'm his mother. What do we gotta work for? Get out of my face. Now you pushing the mama.
The fight only came to an end when another officer arrived. They cuffed the man and led him away to their car.
I do not got no warrant.
They busted this lady window.
Man, let me go. Tell me to go, bro. I'll put my hands on my
For you.
Okay.
For you.
You are. I got it.
This lady in shorts could easily qualify for an MMA with her fighting prowess. The fight broke out in the parking lot of a store. The other lady barely had the chance to breathe when she was brought to the ground, punched hard, and stomped. The good thing about armored vehicles is that they are both uniquely protected and vulnerable. While the drivers are often doubled up and armed, they cover quite a bit of distance with quite a lot of money. The driver of this money vehicle at the parking lot had quite the experience. This video snippet shows where a bunch of men pile out of their cars with massive machine guns, waiting for the armored vehicle to be unlocked so they can pile in and steal everything. They moved very quickly, and the driver, a mother of three, who was pushing a cart filled with money from the bank, could not do anything. With her hands in the air, she was forced to kneel as the other two men helped themselves to thousands of dollars from the truck. The incident was enough to attract the attention of the FBI. On August 17, 2018, this woman had an experience that she definitely prefers not to have again in her life. In the video, we see this woman, who had just parked her car at her usual spot, coming out of it with a handbag that contains $75,000 that she has just withdrawn. As she approaches her home door, another car pulls up a distance away, and a man hurries out toward her. The man grabs a hold of the bag, but the woman holds on tight. A struggle ensues, and the woman's husband comes out to help her. However, while the fight is going on, Another criminal comes out of the same car and joins him. The woman is dragged to the ground as she absolutely wouldn't let go of the bag. The newly arrived crook gets into the car and puts it in reverse, critically injuring the woman. If your car is wrongly parked, it might get towed. But this lady isn't getting tired today. The video shows how a tow truck backs up to the white sedan. However, the female driver in the sedan would not have it. She puts her car in reverse and zooms backwards, then makes a turn and escapes the truck, saving her car. Police are looking for two people who attacked a man merely because of a parking dispute. It started in the Push Lynch parking lot on Miramar Parkway.
It started with a fight in the parking lot of a Publix in the River Run shopping plaza on Miramar Parkway.
One of them pulled out a gun and neared the head of the victim. Luckily, the shot missed. The suspects escaped, though. They were last seen taking off in a silver sedan.
One of them pulled out a gun, firing near the head of the victim. Luckily, that shot missed. Police say the suspects were last seen taking off in a silver Mercury Marauder.
New York City is home to all sorts of people like this driver who may have taken his anger too far during a fight for a parking spot. The video shows a group of people in physical confrontation. It was pretty serious, as one of them was even hitting a black hooded driver with a club. The driver in the black hoodie calmly walked back to his car. You would think he wanted to leave, and maybe he really did, but the guy with the club walked up to his car and hit it with the club, further annoying him. The enraged driver did a sharp turn, hitting the guy and sending him flying. But the car didn't stop. It rammed through the glass of a bakery, shattering the glass in the process. This next video shows a group fight at a parking lot. Apparently, the people in this black sedan wanted to steal another car, but the owner of that other car wasn't willing to let go without a fight.
Come on! Hey, watch out behind you!
Observe closely as the young ladies try to assist their male companion, who is being beaten by the man in white. One of the ladies wields a golf club briefly, but eventually abandons her effort. They quickly get into their car and drive away. Some people prefer to settle their personal issues in the most unconventional ways. These two girls decided to take their dispute to the parking lot of a store. The video shows them exchanging blows and slapping each other repeatedly. A voice can be heard in the background, asking them to stop, but they are determined to fight it out. They only stopped when people physically intervened. When professional fighting meets street fighting, it's hard to tell who will win, depending on who's fighting. This parking lot witnessed an exchange between street fighters and an MMA fighter. The male MMA fighter was in a standoff with a street fighter in a white vest. After arguing for a while, they got down to business. Voices could be heard in the background, encouraging the fight. The street guy was losing and continued to back off until the MMA left him alone.
Hey, keep it down. Mix this food, bro. No, mix this food. You got this, cuz. Makes this fool, dog.
Just when it seemed to be over, another street guy with a big build started arguing with the MMA fighter. He took one last puff of his cigarette and took off his shirt, having decided to fight despite the warnings.
What's up? What? Okay. Chill, fool. This is a fight, dog. It's cool. You don't want to it's all right. Don't worry. What, I can't go on?
It didn't take even a minute for the street guy to find himself on the ground, probably not even knowing how he landed there.
Hey, don't do it, bro. Hey, don't do it, bro. And actually, love this shit, bro. It's gonna make everybody wake up.
This next video came from Austin, Texas. A group of people coming from a party found themselves in a heated confrontation in the parking lot. The lady is seen trying to get at the skinny guy, but the guy was trying to avoid her. Soon, her boyfriend comes in and just starts to beat the guy up. But then another guy comes from behind, grabs the boyfriend, and slams him on the ground, causing the lady to scream in terror. She tries to go after the guy, but he shoves her away with a single hand.
Get him, Frank! Get him, Frank! Oh, no! Get him!
A brutal beating in a parking lot has the Daffy police looking for the attackers. The woman on the ground had been waiting for a spot on University Drive in Griffin Road. When the spot opened up, a silver Mercedes sped.
A brutal beating in a Walmart parking lot now has Davie police searching for the attackers. Apparently, the woman you see on the ground had been waiting for a parking spot.
The people argued back and forth and she drove to a different spot nearby. But when she got out of the car, she was attacked by 3 people who were inside the Mercedes.
People in the Mercedes argued back and forth, and she ended up driving to a different spot nearby. But when she got out of her car, she was attacked by 3 people who had been inside.
It's hard to understand what exactly led to this fight or what's happening here at all. But a brawl is happening nonetheless. Apparently, someone didn't park well and other drivers got involved, leading to the brawl. One of the ladies is seen holding the other's hair and refusing to let go.
You're in the bus again. We worked fucking hard. We were you too.
Another lady had to step in to settle the confusion between the 2 men and the 2 women.
That's it. Who's this?
I saw you.
Get in your car.
I don't even know how to jump out.
This video footage is the very definition of rampage. A woman ran up and pulled an elderly woman out of her car just as she was finishing grocery shopping. The suspect then got into the vehicle and for some reason rammed it into a wall before hitting a series of approximately 8 vehicles at a speed of 20 to 50 miles per hour within the parking lot. Several witnesses from nearby businesses ran over and tried to pull the driver out of the vehicle, but many attempts failed. After a while, they successfully forced her out and restrained her using bandanas and shoelaces. Deputies later detained the carjacking suspect.
What the? Grab her.
Chaos. Utter chaos in this parking lot in Ohio. At first, it doesn't look like much is going on. The video shows a group of ladies standing beside cars and yelling at each other. Nothing too serious. But then, all of a sudden, the fight breaks out. It seemed like they wanted to turn on the parking lot upside down. Each person had her own sparring partner. Blows landed, slaps landed, and hair and dresses were being pulled. What's worse was that there were guys who were encouraging the girls to fight. Some were even laughing out loud. The fights got serious when some of the ladies began to pick up clubs and other objects that they hoped to use.
Let me see it, Daddy.
In a supermarket parking lot in Sacramento, California, two groups of people are having it out. The woman on the left believes the man in the white t-shirt has stolen her phone. She's upset at him and anyone who's with him.
The woman on the left believes the man in the white t-shirt has stolen her phone. And she's upset at him and at anyone who's with him.
In her fury, she goes to her car and picks some bottles, which she breaks. Each shattered piece of the bottle she's breaking is being used as a weapon.
And each shattered piece of the bottle she's breaking.
But now the other team doesn't stay idle either and strikes back by ramming the car into the woman and her car. Although the woman escapes injury as she tries to get back into the safety of her own car, things take a different turn. The person in her driver's seat takes matters into their own hands.
Over an allegedly stolen phone.
Hey, you better hit my car.
Has turned into a full-fledged parking lot road rage attack.
The stolen phone incident has now turned into a full-fledged parking lot road rage attack. The woman watches helplessly as her friend relentlessly pursues the driver, who rams her. The dangerous chase ends abruptly when the car drives into a sign. By the time police arrive, everyone has fled the scene.
And the now almost bumperless blue car takes off. By the time police arrive, everyone has fled the scene.
On May 15, 2023, in the Mayfield area, a parking lot was home to a bizarre event. Security camera footage shows a man sitting in the driver's seat of a black sedan. Another man approaches the car and is about to get inside the vehicle when suddenly the driver reverses the car, causing it to crash into a parked vehicle and collide with another man, and then he speeds away from the scene. Authorities have identified the driver as 39-year-old Calvin Peacock. Investigators reveal that Peacock has a history of arranging test drives for high-end vehicles advertised for sale online, only to steal them during these test drives. Police are currently seeking another suspect believed to be involved in this carjacking. The investigation continues as authorities work to apprehend both suspects and bring them to justice. This rib-cracking video came from Jiangsu province in China, and it was quite a show. Two women tried to occupy an empty parking space for their friend, who was on the way to the car park. An unconcerned driver wanted to park there and they tried to stop him. The driver then pushed the women away with his car, forcing his way to the same parking spot. One of the women kept yelling at the other to make a video of the incident. The driver then got out of the vehicle and the women immediately confronted him. He simply ignored them. Police later came and reprimanded both parties. In an anger-filled moment, two ladies were involved in a parking lot fight. One was on top of the other, giving her the beating of a lifetime. The lady on the floor eventually makes it to her car, and that's when the real deal begins. The reverses her barium and rams into the other woman's open car door, destroying it. But that's not all. She repeatedly reverses and hits the car several times. Turning a deaf ear to all the reasoning of people around her, she follows the car outside and continues her onslaught. In a careless move, she runs into a fire hydrant, removing it and causing water to gush out in large torrents. In a heart-gripping scene, two men decided to fight it out at a parking lot. There are other people around them, but they have no intention of stopping the fight. The other men were recording the incident. Without further ado, the two men got down to business and began exchanging blows. Luckily, no one was badly hurt. These two truckers thought they were in a boxing ring as they let themselves loose in this parking space. The confrontation started with a verbal argument, which developed into a physical altercation. The man in red took off his shirt, and seizing the opportunity, his opponent threw a jab at him. The fight continued for a while before other truckers stepped in and tried to stop them, but even then they still went at it for a while. In this video, not unlike a scene from a karate movie, a group of gangsters gathered in a parking lot and two of them decided to air out their grievances.
Let's go, Christian!
Come on, Christian!
The video shows the two men with unbelievable agility throwing punches and kicks at each other. Then, in one fluid movement, one of them grabs the other and flings him over his shoulder, slamming him to the ground. Personal parking lots are no longer safe as before. CCTV captured a man as he headed out to his car on a regular day, but then a masked man comes onto the property with a gun. Knowing there's nothing he can do in the face of a gun, the young man walks back with his arms up, returning to the house to tell his dad that the man has a gun. The father, however, unaffected by the gun threat, runs out after the thief in a bold attempt to recover his car, but the suspect still got there in the end. What do we have here? A woman stealing meat? Oh yes. She'd just come out of the store with a cart full of meat, but apparently she didn't pay for them. The other lady tried to stop her as she loaded the trunk of her white Chevrolet sedan with packs of meat. Unable to stop her, the other lady simply started recording. After loading up, the woman left the cart, got into her car, and zoomed off, even hitting other cars in the process. In a heart-pounding moment, two people went for a showdown in this Rite Aid parking lot. Apparently, they can only settle their dispute with a fist fight.
Come here!
The man in white kept throwing some dangerous swings and eventually floored the other guy in red. But the guy had a helper who immediately engaged his assailant. Eventually, the other guys had to step in to stop the fight. Imagine parking your car and then someone fights with you over it. On November 11, 2020, this lady had to fight for her car. We can see the lady in pink as she heads for her silver SUV at the parking lot, and just as she got into it, a man in a pale blue shirt rushed up to her. He pulled out his gun and ordered her to get out of the car. At some point, he even pointed his gun at the camera itself. After a bit of struggle, the lady got out, and when he took her bag from her, she didn't even fight back. In panic, she fled the scene while the criminal got into her car and drove off. On May 8, 2022, two guys had a fight in the parking lot. In an unexpected move, one of them ended up using an umbrella and some kind of baton that he pulled out of his boot to assault the other person. The other guy had his own temper too, and in retaliation, tried to run him over in reverse mode before speeding away altogether.